Believing in yourself is a bigger predictor of success than talent, IQ, or experience. And I'm not here to motivate you by saying that. I'm saying it because the neuroscience backs it up, and everyone watching this video should understand why. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through three specific mechanisms, and I'm going to show you exactly what these looks like in your business, in your day, and in your decisions. So, let's get into it. Think about two entrepreneurs in the same niche, same offer, same market, roughly the same team. One consistently signs high ticket clients, the other gives discounts. One makes bold moves, launches new partnerships, and price increases. The other hesitates at each one of these decision points. The difference here is not their funnel, their offer, their IQ, or their market. It's what their brain believes about them when they are all alone and no one is watching. Lucky us, no belief is fixed. Beliefs are programs, and programs can be updated, just like you update your computer, your phone, and also a Tesla if you have that, or an electrical vehicle. So, I'm going to give you these three specific mechanisms and show you them at work. And I'm going to show you each one, of course. So, the first one, the reason mechanism number one, is belief alone improves performance before you've done anything, before you've made a single move. Studies show that when you believe you're capable of something, your brain activates more motor cortex and prefrontal resources. These are the exact regions responsible for execution, decision making, and high level thinking. This is also the placebo effect applied to performance. And I promise you, it's not fake. It's a biological advantage that's available to you right now with zero new skills required. Before we go any further, I want to make it a little bit more specific and more real to you. So I've created three scenarios you've probably already experienced. So, scenario number one, the sales call. You know, the version of yourself that walks into a call already believing you're the right fit. Your questions are sharper, your presence is different, and you don't rush to fill the silence when there's silence on the call. All this is not confidence as a personality trait, but rather your prefrontal cortex being given permission to operate at full capacity. Scenario number two, the price conversation. Let's say you quote $12,000. The prospect goes quiet. Two things can happen. The entrepreneur who believes in their value holds that silence, knowing it's just the prospect processing and not rejecting the price. The one who doubts fills the gap with a discount that nobody actually asked for. Same exact pause, different brain state. Scenario number three, cold outreach. Let's say you write to your dream client. Think about the message you write when you genuinely believe they're going to say yes versus the message you write when you are already half expecting that they're going to reject you. The language, the framework, energy, and conversation rate will be different. What I have just talked about is belief in action as a neurological mechanism. So, belief number two, mechanism number two, this one is about what keeps you going. So, there are two types of dopamine at play in your business. There are external dopamine, the hit you get from a new client, a good month, a post that goes viral. And then you have the intrinsic dopamine, the sustained fuel that comes from believing your work matters, that you're building something with a purpose behind it, that the vision you have and hold is worth the effort and sacrifice. External dopamine is addictive and very fragile. You need more of it every time to feel the same effect. And when things go quiet in your business, no new clients, slow month, the algorithm drops your content, the entrepreneur running on this external dopamine plateaus and stalls. So if we just compare it to the entrepreneur running on self belief, we see that they stay locked in because their source of fuel doesn't require the world to confirm it. So let me give you two versions of the same November. Scenario A, running on external dopamine. Two deals pushed to January. Your content engagement dropped. You had a launch that didn't hit its number that you wanted it to hit. Suddenly, you are in a spiral, questioning your offer, your positioning, whether you've got what it takes, your business, even it doesn't even break at this point, but the external dopamine went silent for a little while, and there was nothing underneath to keep it moving. Scenario B, same November, same numbers, but the version of you is running on intrinsic dopamine. The belief that what you're building matters, that the work itself has a value regardless of the month's metrics. So you use the silence to sharpen the axe, or your process in this case. You prep the next launch. You improve what needs improving. You're not waiting for external confirmation to start doing something different. We're talking about the same business here. We're talking about the same month. The only variable is what your motivation is anchored to. The entrepreneur who doesn't need external validation to stay in motion has an enormous competitive advantage, especially when the market gets quiet, algorithms change, or you are between wins. And that will happen. Trust me, we've all experienced it. Not everything goes exactly as planned from the start. Reason mechanism number three. This one is the one that changes the size of your business. You've probably heard about it before. And I really like this quote. It says, no risk, no Rari. And the mechanism underneath it is actually more simple than you think. Self belief reduces amygdala activity, which is the fear and threat detection center of your brain. And when the amygdala gets quieter, it activates what neuroscientists call approach circuits, which are just networks that orient you toward opportunity rather than threat. That's a lot of theory, so let me make it a little bit more practical. Low self belief doesn't mean you're stupid or weak. It simply means your brain is protecting you, specifically protecting a fragile identity by keeping you away from situations where you might be exposed, rejected, or proved wrong. And on the other side, high self belief doesn't eliminate risk, it just changes how the brain processes it. So, how the brain processes risk. A risk that would trigger paralysis in an entrepreneur who doubts themselves becomes manageable challenge for one who doesn't. Let me give you three moves. And for each one, I want you to see both versions, the safe version and the bold version. So, move number one, raising your prices to 15K from 12K. The safe version just stays at 8K or offer the guarantee, which is guaranteed income in their opinion and in their perspective. It's also a guaranteed ceiling. The bold version quote 15K. Some say no, that's the lower floor. The ones who just say yes, your revenue per client just doubled. Instead of it being 8K, it's 15K, so almost double. Three yeses beats 10 of what you were doing before. Move number two, posting the contrarian take. Let's say you have an opinion in your industry which people don't really want to hear, or your industry doesn't want to hear in general. The safe version, just say nothing. No followers lost, but also no new followers gained. The bold version, they post the contrarian take. Half the audience might drift. The other half becomes your most loyal segment, the people who actually agree and have been waiting for someone to say it. Move number 3, the dream partnership. The person, the brand, the platform you've been wanting to approach. The safe version, don't bother even sending the message. They just avoid the rejection. They stay comfortable and they don't really get out of their comfort zone. The bold ones send it. Worst case, they're being ignored. Best case, the conversation that changes the trajectory of everything actually changes. The floor is lower on all 3 of those moves. The ceiling is incomparably higher. I actually hope I have your attention so far, but if not, I'll just bring it all together for you now. I've talked about these 3 mechanisms or these 3 biological advantages, which you can also call them. One is that more cognitive horsepower before you've done anything. Belief activates more of the brain you already have. Number 2 is that motivation that doesn't require the world to confirm it. Intrinsic dopamine keeps you moving. And obviously, it allows you to move through the slow months, the quiet periods, the stretches when nothing external is validating the work you're putting in. Number 3, access to a higher ceiling. Reduced fear response, approach circuits running, the bold moves that keep most entrepreneurs perpetually safe and perpetually stuck become available to you. This is not about becoming a different person. This is about updating the program that decides what the current you are capable of. So here's the part nobody talks about. Most entrepreneurs who hear this still can't close this gap. And it's not because they don't understand it. It is rather because they're trying to change the belief at the conscious level. So that might be with affirmations, journaling, pep talk, motivational content at whatever time of the day. None of this reaches the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't update from information or inspiration. It updates from identity level change, the kind that bypasses the conscious mind entirely and rewrites the program at the source. That's the work, and that's what the 7-figure subconscious roadmap is built to do. It is not to give you more to implement, but to solve the programming that has been setting your ceiling this entire time. If you've stayed this far, I want you to leave with something very powerful and a couple of powerful lines. It is very true that the floor is lower when you venture into the unknown, but the ceiling is so much higher. And that ceiling only becomes accessible when your subconscious has been updated to believe that applies to you. That's the work. If this resonated with you, obviously subscribe. I put out sessions, framework, and identity tools every week that operate at this level. If you're ready to do this more directly, press the first link in the description and download 4 hypnosis recordings completely for free, designed to make you a 100K a month entrepreneur from the inside out. As always, do the inner work. See you in the next video. Bye.